Welcome at GLH. We are here in our testing center where we demonstrate and show all of our machines for our customers, and today we are going to zoom in a certain specific model. We are here to explain the same model as the S-230M, but then the automatic version of it. So basically the construction of the saw bow is exactly the same as explained on the S-230M video. So I'm not going to zoom in on that one. I'm going to zoom in more on the automatic function of it. Unfortunately, this is not a double miter, this is a single miter. 60 degrees on this side. Very important basic mechanical features is that the bed is turning with the saw bow. That's very important, so it always cuts in the sawing line, and that this model is specifically designed for repetitive work. I always have a sort of a fist rule or a hand rule that the moment that you cut of the same dimensions more than 10 or 20 pieces a day, then you should think about an automatic saw. So basically this is an automatic saw, short stroke cylinder on the vise. So it means that you still need to manually turn it. And just to be clear, to explain this saw a little bit better to you, we've taken away all the CE covers, because then we can easily move around the saw and show you a little bit on the inside what the automatic function means that is added on the S-230M miter cutting machine. So looking on the back of the S-200MNC, so single miter, again single miter automatic saw. Capacity is 230 millimeters in the height and 320 millimeters in the width. Very important to know, shuttle vise has a stroke of 500 millimeters. There are end of material detectors in the back, so the moment that the end of the material is detected, then the saw knows that he can still do a certain length, and then he will give the signal end of material on the display. 2 linear guide rails that basically guide the shuttle vise smoothly, powered by the hydraulic cylinder in the back. We've taken off the cover also to let you see inside of the machine, basically on how it works. The length reading is done by our magnetic scale. The advantage of a magnetic tape with the sensor is basically that it can read very, very accurately. The disadvantage is that it needs to be clean, so no dirt can be on it. So therefore, clever design by our engineers, it's fully protected by an aluminum cover with brushes. So it's always automatically cleaned, and chips are not able to get inside to make it dirty. On the other hand, when it fails, or the sensor needs to be changed, or the magnetic tape needs to be changed, it's very easy to reach. Again, we think about service and maintenance all of the time. We have also a rule, or I have also a rule that says that the first one is sold by the sales guy and the second one is sold by the service guy. So that's basically something that we always keep in mind when we improve or redesign our machines. Rollers in the bed, so the vise is moving up and down. So when you program a length, it goes to the length, it grips the material and moves the material to the front. The rollers basically help the material to slide over the bed or the stroke, basically. For the rest, the parts that we use is a spindle on this side with a short stroke cylinder on this side, and these are cast iron parts that are milled down. So the vices are cast iron that are milled down on our milling machines or in our milling shop in the factory. What else to mention? There's a double retracting cylinder. So this double retracting cylinder makes sure that when the material is not really straight, that the fixed side of the vise also has a short stroke, so it goes open when it goes back. So the moment that the stroke is made, it comes to the front, it hits the front limit switch, it goes open on this side, it goes open on that side, and then it makes sure that it doesn't grab the material, and then the material gets retracted out of the front vise or you have length differences, it's to avoid that. The functionality of a double retracting cylinder is basically to make sure that it moves freely, that the shuttle vise can move freely. An option that I want to mention is the top clamp. It showed here with quick snap connections, hydraulic quick snap connections, we can remove the top clamp. It's an option, it's not standard on this machine. But basically it's when you have an application like this one, two lengths next to each other, mostly round material is needed, then you use the top clamp in order to cut multiple pieces out of one cut. So a layer cut, we call it. Yeah, and that basically explains a little bit how the functionality is of this automatic machine. So let's zoom in a little bit more on the hydraulic part and also on the electrical cabinet and the control panel. The hydraulic part, also here again, serviceability, very important. Closed hydraulic system, refillable by this button basically, the cap that you can take off. You see here also the level of the hydraulic tank, hydraulic motor, hydraulic pump, the hydraulic manifold with hydraulic valves, and basically 3 pressure gauges. The first gauge for the main pressure, the shuttle vise and the front vise pressure. Again, you can take this box out to when there's a coil broken or when there's a valve broken, to take easy out the coil or the valve, or to replace it, to service it. And of course for the pressure there are some buttons that you can use to arrange the vise pressure when needed. Cover can be easily taken off with 2 handles, and with these 2 handles you can place it back. And yeah, very simple system, but again, accessibility for the service engineer is very important when you purchase a saw. Determines if the service engineer is half hour busy or 1 hour busy or half a day busy. In this case, removing a few screws and immediately he can access the complete hydraulical unit. Zooming in on the electrical cabinet. Pretty simple, like on all electrical cabinets, we have the main switch. You put it off, you open the electrical cabinet like this. Again, nicely labeled, everything as built in the electrical diagram and electrical schedule, schematics. And basically what you see here is the Delta inverter, a brand that is known in the world of inverters and electrical controls. All German components, safety contact from Phoenix, also a famous manufacturer. And yeah, basically Delta PLC that we use in this model, something that is very common. So yeah, basically nothing more to say. Very well organized, like all our electrical cabinets. There's no manual inside, but if we deliver a manual then we put it in here, and mostly it's in the language of the country where we deliver it in, or it's downloadable on our website. The control panel of the S-230M NC, on the side you can overview the whole process. So the moment that you turn on the switch, you see here on the button that the power is activated. Very recognizable, the emergency button, obligated of course, to have the coolant on or off. That's more for cleaning purposes, because the moment you start the saw, the coolant will always start. The light on and off, and then yeah, the shuttle vise to the back, the shuttle vise. The shuttle vise in the homing position, excuse me, and the shuttle vise to the front and the shuttle vise to the back. Hydraulic on, so you cannot put it on because there's an alarm screen on. You first need to reset it and then you can close basically the alarm screen and then you can start the hydraulics. Start the saw, stop the saw. The back vise open and closed, the front vise open and closed. Saw bow up, saw bow down, and very recognizable. Again, the feeding button. So from a scale from 0 to 10, it shows basically how quick you can go with the downfeed. On this system, also aboard, is the AI module. So the moment that you start cutting, you push start, he will ask you a few things and show you a few things. So it's pretty simple. You can set your data, basically the workpiece size, the quantity amount, and the amount that is cut. You can also reset the amount that is cut. You can also make a manual cut and operate everything that you can operate with these buttons. You can also operate on, with the normal buttons, you can also operate on the touchscreen. And then you have some basic parameters that you can set, like if the blade breakage need to be detected or not, if the saw needs to be shut down after an automatic without the material, or if the saw needs to be shut down after operation. Very flexible system, a little bit the same design as what we are used to in our GLH touchscreens. So it's showing basically all the functionality that you need to have, the limit switches that you need to check, so, and the time setting, of course. But very simple system to use, so you can operate the saw whatever you want with these things. Of course, you have some advanced options where you can select languages and also some ratios. The advanced functionalities are password protected, so you cannot enter it like this, but for the demo we just easily show you how and what is actually in the HMI and the PLC of this automatic miter cutting saw.